So there's this big thing going on now in government called TikTok. And of course, you and I have talked about TikTok quite a bit.
It's banned in my house.
Right. It's banned in your house. But, I think one of the things that people don't understand is that the problem with TikTok is really about the problem of what you can do today with people's data. So you can literally understand the personality, the interactions, the relationships, nearly just about everything that you want about a person using the data collected by their smartphone. But then when you build that into a smart city, you literally have everything about the person. Now, we typically don't think about the problems that causes, but as you and I have talked about, the ability to influence you to buy a pair of shoes that Amazon leverages with their data empire and algorithms and machine learning and artificial intelligence can also be used to affect your political orientation, your cultural, your social orientation, and really can be used, as we know, to undermine our political system. So, talk us through kind of what the data security problems are in 5G, because I think that's where people have heard it's a faster smartphone, but okay, who has access to this data that the tech companies are creating?
Yeah, you're right, and that's even a bigger picture description of what 5G does, right? Is that 5G creates let's call it hypothetically 10x the amount of data that we see today, and even at a more granular level. And if you believe, as many do, and I think China's even come out and said this, right? The data is the gold of or the oil of the next generation. Then you got to scratch your head and go in the U.S. It's like, well, what the hell are we doing about it, right? And so when you look at things like, for me, when I look at things like TikTok, I'm like, okay, well, why don't we just put a beacon in everybody's hand and let them walk around, and they can collect, other nation states can collect as much information as they want on individual U.S. citizens or their surroundings as they need. And TikTok, I think, is just the poster child for where an explosive app or service can really enable that type of potential, government state sponsored, access to U.S. citizens, which is, really unheard of, because we don't, as American citizens, we don't really think about data and the importance of data. But I think specific to your question, when you think about 5G, then you go, okay, well, 5G. We've always also had this point of view that networks are secure because we trust our North American, wireless operators. If we don't trust them, who do we trust, right? And the reality is that historically, and you go, through all the Gs up through 4G, it's primarily been driven by a lot of U.S. influence, or even directly by the U.S., where we've always been leaders in the telecommunications industry. The last 100 years, the U.S. has led the telecommunications industry. You look at it today and you go into 5G, we don't even have a telecommunications manufacturer left in this country. So we're not leading anything. So all we're doing is buying other people's products and services and putting it into our networks, and then telling U.S. citizens, trust, it's okay. Don't worry, I bought it in China, but you can trust it. So, I mean, I think it's, in that in and of itself exposes a lot of data risk. You get into all the issues, whether it's, man in the middle and how people are snooping on you, or you get into, who owns your data, right? Or, do you trust your data being, unencrypted? Or it raises a lot of questions. And I think there's a lot of data privacy issues that come with 5G, which we're just not even really talking about, because we don't understand that it's really about data. And let's win the battle for the oil of the next generation, and let's let that drive our economic policy decisions, and then also drive what we should be doing from a technology level as we build out networks.